Here we go. My God. Hope you can hear me. So sorry, everybody. All right. Sorry about that. It's the first time ever going live. Can someone comment and let me know if anyone can actually see this? Hope so. This is one of the best cards of all time. We're so excited. Izzy, we got the GOAT, the only true double champ, the only fighter who's truly cleaned out 2 divisions, Amanda Nunes. We got 4 champions fighting. It's going to be just one of the best cards of all time. We're so excited. So we're pretty lit and really looking forward to the fights tomorrow. Right on, Baby Yoda. Thank you. All right. So Ali's getting the shots, and we're going to get started. So the Batista fight, it's a pretty exciting fight. Everyone's on Batista. I haven't heard a single expert pick Trevin, right? We know that Trevin can finish fights when he actually gets somebody hurt. But there's just really nothing that he's that good at. I will mention that Batista today at the weigh-ins was looking a little low energy, and Trevin looked shredded. It made me a little bit concerned, but Trevin's pretty heavy on that front foot. We all know, that Batista's got the great, well-rounded striking. I think the low kicks. I think the low kicks are really just going to get it done for Batista. He's really just better everywhere. I think he can out-grapple him. He's got better cardio. He's just better everywhere. The low energy at the weigh-ins was a little bit concerning, but not enough to get me on the dog here. It's a tiny bit concerning because last time every single expert picked anybody. It was Jimmy Rivera last week, which totally sucked. And very similarly, he had trouble at the weigh-ins. Sorry for the delay. Thank you.
I don't want to interrupt you, but
no. We're going to talk about some prop bets in this fight here.
Yep.
So thanks everybody for watching. Sorry for the delay. First time ever going live here.
Yeah.
Nico's Batista all day. We got Baby Yoda agreeing. Imran. Oh, this is the IG fam right here.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much.
Not only Chaser. Using Chaser before the shot. I don't care.
Sorry about
it. Sorry, roll. So, you guys are the best. Cheers. Let's go. It's Friday.
Yeah. Turn up and tune in.
Yeah. That's right. Turn up and tune in. See, I'm rusty. I didn't even know our inside joke for a sec. It took a sec. So the weigh-ins today were actually pretty interesting. The last couple weigh-ins were very uneventful. Most people made weight today just fine. It's really Askarot that had the most notable trouble. And then, of course, Benavidez didn't look great. So we'll talk more about the weigh-ins, but a pretty good card to have waited for the weigh-ins today. So glad about that. Really, I just think Batista could win anyway. This is a rare fight on the card here where the favorite, I think they just got multiple paths to victory. It's kind of like what we said about Gone. We literally could see Cyril winning all 3 ways. But I think, these guys are little. I think we're all thinking the same thing. Batista by decision. Actually gets you plus money the last I saw. So I know we're checking that out. Batista by decision. And everyone's on Batista. It makes me a tiny bit nervous. From a DFS perspective, Batista's a little pricey. I think it's kind of a pass for both these guys on DFS. I wouldn't hate Trevin as a punt play, but there's 15 punt options here. So from a DSF perspective, it's just a pass overall.
Yeah, and that Batista by decision is at, let's see.
Plus 125.
Yep. Plus 125.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a degenerate.
They're kind of out of order on here.
I can see this from like a mile away. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly where to look.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we can move on from Batista. So the thing is, one thing we like about the City Kickboxing guys, one thing we like about the MMA Labs guys is that they're all peaking at the same time, right? They traveled together, they cut weight together. They were all bringing in other wrestlers, other jiu-jitsu guys. They're bringing in really high-level talent to help them prepare for this fight. They all benefit from that. I think you see like exponential returns when these guys train together and they're all fighting at the same time. So I'm really big on most of the City Kickboxing guys and pretty much all the MMA Labs guys tonight.
Yeah.
So it's interesting about Kai. Yeah. Kai is a tough one. So let's get there. Bontarine, a lot of the experts are picking Rogerio Bontarine. Kai Kara-France has got like that 90% takedown defense or whatever, but that's inflated because he hasn't fought anybody, and it's like a bunch of these half little takedowns that he gets credit for defending when it's not actual accurate. So sometimes the numbers lie. Kai Kara-France's takedown defense is one of those. What we do know is that he gasses late in the third round, but he's got pop. He's got pop early, you know, especially for a little guy. Everyone's on Bontarine. He didn't look amazingly good today at the weigh-ins. You know, but so I'm a little nervous. I was pretty confident on Bontarine. I was mixing Bontarine in a couple of parlays. I'm starting to get a little nervous because if Kai can defend the takedowns, if that overinflated takedown defense holds up, then he's going to style on him. It's kind of a pass. If you want the pick, I actually started leaning Kai just recently. I've never been really high on him. I think he's overrated. I think he's swimming in the wake of these other city kickboxing guys a little bit. And, you know, on the last card, he was one of the few to lose. He, like I said, he's kind of early finish or bust in my opinion, because he definitely gasses. So Bontarine's got a well-rounded game, a lot of things to like about him. But the more I just play it through my head, I think Kai's going to stand on his feet and win a decision.
It is a close money line there. It's minus 136 and plus 116 at Kai Kara-France as the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I mean, if you're feeling Bontarine at all, I mean, taking his money line might not even be bad.
It's not. You're right. And like we all know, these 50-50 fights are going to a decision. These fucking judges, you all know. So, you know, anytime you see that money, and honestly, I tell you, we talk about it a lot. These draws. So a lot of the sports books have draws at plus 5,000. You can find these draws at plus 6,600. If you just focus on the fights that you know are going to decision, more than 1 in 66 is finishing in a draw the last 2 years specifically. I like playing draws on these close fights where we know that somebody gasses, where we know that somebody eye pokes a lot. You know, on this card, Kennedy did a lot of low kicking in his last fight. We all heard a ton about that. You can't really count on that. But when people eye poke, that's a habit that they can't get out of. So when there's a really big striker versus grappler, like Chris Gutierrez, was it Cody Stamen, you know, where he gets the 10-8 round because he just holds his back the whole time. Or if it's just a really even pick and fight where we don't see 10-10 rounds very often, you're counting on a 10-8 round or a point deduction. But honestly, these fights that go to decision, pick the underdog and play some draws. I'm not kidding around. Let's check the comments here real quick. Kai by finish is good value for someone with this finish rate. So he does, yeah, he's definitely got the finish rate. But I think Bontarine's a little better than those guys, you know. And there's another example on here where, like Jan, I like Jan a lot, but honestly, his power isn't something that's like sustainable. We can't just count on the Polish power. We'll get to it, but there's certain finish rates that I think are not sustainable, and I think Kai's finish rate is one of those that's a little unsustainable. Like, he's not going to keep knocking people out. He's early knockout or bust in my opinion, but that's a great point. It's just
it is quite a good prop there. Just by KO or submission is plus 470, so that is
inside the distance plus
right.
470.
That's a good one to look at. But yeah, I agree. He's first round KO or bust. Yeah.
So no, it is a great point. But yeah, so you know, it's like plus. So it's just if he can finish Bontarine 1 in 5 fights, yeah, I think he probably could. You know, that plus 470 inside the distance is not terrible. If you just go plus by knockout, you know, plus 600. Kai by knockout plus 600.
Yeah,
I don't hate that, but I do expect this one to go to the over. And I'll tell you, a lot of the overs have been hitting lately. A lot of people they parlayed like 7 overs last week and hit. And this card is looking similar. Lots of decisions. I would just be careful. You never want some early knockout to bust those. So there's a lot of over, like, and I know it from experience. I'm trying to build like 2 and 3 fighter parlays, trying to keep them short. And then I'm like, well, I know that fight's going to, I know Lamos isn't, you know, come on, you know, so the overs are just so sneaky, so like sneaky. They're just so they're seductive. Like they're just, so just be careful with those overs. All right. So next got, this card is so stacked. I can't believe how these fights are. We need that other shit here. There we go.
Yeah.
Sean Brady, Jake Matthews.
Sorry.
Jake Matthews, we like Jake Matthews a lot. He didn't look great against Thiago. We all know. Sean Brady is like super hyped, like, you know, one of the most hyped MMA fighters I've seen in a long time. They're both black belts. They're both thick as hell. They're both strong. They both have pretty good striking, decent, like pretty good wrestling. It's really a very pick 'em fight. I don't hate people going with Matthews. Like a couple weeks ago, you know, looking ahead, or even just like 6 days ago, I wasn't parlaying Brady a lot because I like Jake Matthews, and I'm like, you know, Sean, who did he beat? Christian Aguilera or whoever. It's not a great win for Sean Brady. I think Sean Brady's a little overhyped. I'm curious to know what you guys think, but now all of a sudden I look at all my parlays and they literally all have Sean Brady in them. I'm like, all of a sudden it went from having 0 exposure to him to having 100% exposure to him, because those parlays they already lost because they had, you know, they had blades and shit. So it's interesting. I'm really highly exposed on Brady now. I do think that he's just the slightest bit better at everything. Slightest bit better at cardio, slightest bit stronger, slightest bit better ground game, and I think the striking edge is out. You know, obviously Jake Matthews, what's his advantage? Let's all say it at the same time: his resume, his experience. Like, he's fought the better guys. It's inarguable. It's not even worth saying, really. It's obvious. However, Sean Brady's just got so much hype. I don't think the UFC, and I usually don't play into the narratives of like, oh, well, the UFC wants this person to win or this person to win, but the UFC does not want Sean Brady to lose. I'll tell you that. So I think this is a really interesting fight. This is one of the ones I'm looking forward to seeing. I think this line is wide. I'm tempted to, like, you know, pick Jake Matthews at plus 188. I think that's amazing value. But I think Sean Brady's better everywhere. Got Sean Brady winning a decision. Yeah. 5 points. Sean Brady plus 125. I don't think that's I don't think that's good enough. You know me. I'm not playing any of these straight. These are all in parlays. Yeah. I don't think that's that much better. That's how I've got Sean Brady money line in literally every parlay. All right, let's see what we think. Brady, yeah, he grew up in the UFC. It's rare that, like, we know somebody coming in. Yeah, we got a couple examples. Olberg is kind of like that, but it's rare that we know somebody is coming in and we know they're that good and they perform, they live up to the hype, and then just like 1 or 2, 3 fights in, they're on a main card. You know, not on this card because this card's so stacked, but they're on a main card, or they're fighting a ranked opponent, or they're fighting a legend who we know they're set to beat and get that name on their resume. You know, it's rare, but Sean Brady is that, and he just lives up to it, and he's got his head on straight. You know, but Jake Matthews is a stud. This fight is going to be close. You could, let's say, what are the robbery candidates on this card? What are the parlay ruiners because of robbery? This could absolutely be one of those, right? So you should tread lighter than I have, because we all know how good Jake Matthews is. Yeah. Right. Let's keep cooking.
We got a little out of order here.
Probably. I don't know. I'd be highly surprised if we're on order. I think we got the. No, so we didn't talk about Elon Cruz yet. All right.
Okay. So, Euros Medic versus Elon Cruz.
So everyone knows Medic is coming from Alaska. We got these guys like Carlton Minus. We got these Alaskan fighters who have just overinflated records because they feed them cans and they make their records look good. And they're like, hey, we got this 8-0 guy fighting, you know, another fisherman this weekend. Who wants to come watch? And everyone's like, is there heat? Like, do you guys have heat there? We're there, right? So, you know, these Alaskan cards, you can't put too much stock in them, right? But Medic, he's got a lot of height. He's a good distance striker. I don't know how to put this. I've got, you know, like, one of the people that I talk about fights all day long with people on mostly Instagram. One of the guys that said Julian Erosa is a lock. Marquez might have some ring rust. He might have a little bit of, like, you know, cardio issues, but it's still the same Julian Marquez. Julian Marquez is a lock. That guy said that Elon Cruz is a lock. I'm riding him. Elon Cruz is bigger. He's got the diverse striking game. We know about the flying knee. Like, Medic in my mind is just like Carlton Minus, the least proven fighter on this entire card. Elon Cruz is looking like a wizard in the gym. You know, it's like 10th planet. They're like, these are some of the best grapplers in the world. And Elon Cruz is in there just putting on clinics every day. I've seen some footage. I've heard the stories. I like him. his size, just everything, you know. So we know, like, it's funny to talk about the size because he's moving up in weight and Medic is moving down. I don't care. He's bigger. You all saw the weigh-ins. I've got Cruz in a lot of bets. I think by far my favorite underdog of the week. Even if this guy didn't put me on him, like just watching it, I'm like, I don't know what people see in Medic. There's literally nothing. If you stand around and let him kickbox and let him strike and let him use his length, then he looks good against cans. But Elon Cruz is a real one.
Yeah, and it's a close line too. Like, yeah, if you're feeling Cruz, the underdog, like we are, that's only plus 144. Like that's plus 144.
That's good.
And Euros Medic at minus 172.
So I like. It's interesting. I actually think Cruz could finish all three ways here too. I want to pick a prop here. I want to get even greedier. I want to pick some wild thing by Cruz. So by KO plus 550. I don't think that's good. By submission plus 1,000. Not okay. Elon Cruz by submission plus 1,000.
Whoa. Yeah.
He has the grappling edge here by a million miles, and he's got the cardio edge here by a million miles. I actually am hammering that like the second this ends. That's not a bet I have yet. We usually do our degenerate props Saturday morning, hungover, and probably that's why they never hit. That's one that's gonna hit. Elon Cruz by submission plus 1,000 on FanDuel. I think that might be one of the widest, longest prop bets to hit this week. All right, so let's move on. Unless anyone disagrees.
Someone disagrees.
I had Cruz a week ago, some friends. So I guarantee one of the Cruzes wins tonight. Cruz, baby. Yeah, let's go. Come in on the Medic. So maybe if money's still coming on Medic, then wait on Cruz. There's been a lot of line movement this week, and that's one I was looking at, but I didn't really notice any lately. Like I thought, still right in that range, the plus 140 range. But I would trust Baby Yoda there. So if you like Elon Cruz like we do, keep waiting. But I think plus 144 is really good, and that plus 1,000, it's just like Tim Elliott early in the week, like 2 weeks ago. Plus Tim Elliott by submission was plus 1,000. Earlier this week is plus 800. Now it's like plus 400. There's some of these props that the bookies get onto, and they take some of the juice away. We're all on Tim Elliott by submission. But yeah, Elon Cruz by submission. My God, I'm so excited about that. All right, so we got through Batista, Brady. Did we talk about Olberg? Olberg. Yeah, well, we talked about Batista, Joe. Let's go Olberg, Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy, Nzechukwu. I saved you. You didn't have to say it.
Thank you.
Yeah. He looks like he'd be just a knockout artist, right? He's just not. So he just doesn't have that much pop in his punches. He doesn't have the best technique. He's just not that good at anything. And Carlos Olberg, it's like, my God, like so overhyped. He had the nice knockout on Contender Series, but the guy like went down like a ton of bricks with the first one. It wasn't like I think that was just a little bit of a fluky-ish knockout, right? But the guy is a swagger hound. The guy's a monster. Like, he like the UFC wants him to win. The UFC does not want Carlos Olberg to lose this fight. So who do they give him to? They give him to like a seemingly formidable opponent who has no pop in his punches, and has no cardio. So like this seems like a really risky one, but Kennedy just nothing jumps out at you on tape to make you say that he's got a shot. Like I don't see a path to victory for Kennedy at all. Literally not at all. He's not going to catch Carlos and knock him out. He's not going to out wrestle him. He just has no path. I say that you would think that Olberg's my number one parlay leg. For some reason, I just can't. Like, I can't. Olberg's not in most of my parlays, So I feel like this is one that's going to happen, and Carlos is going to just knock him out, and it's going to be like, what's Carlos Olberg by KO?
By KO is
only plus
125. Yeah.
Okay, so I was expecting something a little juicier than that, but it's going to be like, that was a luck. How did So I think there's some recency bias. I think this line's a little wide. I'm big on Olberg. I don't think Kennedy has a path to victory here at all. But for some reason, I just can't pull the trigger on Olberg. And it's weird because I'm like less confident on Brady, but then when it comes down to it, Brady gets added to all the parlays. So yeah, I think you're exactly right. They gave him a gift. They want Olberg to win here. I mean, Kennedy, is going to be in bare knuckle in a couple months.
All right, the next one, Tim Elliott versus Jordan Espinoza.
So I'm amazed that people are still betting on Espinoza. I'm honestly amazed. I don't know what people see. Yes, Tim Elliott's like 38 or something. I think he's like 30. Yes, he's had some bad losses, right? The thing is, he just looks so focused. He looks so ready. Normally, he's like at the weigh-ins and stuff, trying to do funny stuff, trying to be entertaining, trying to like be like, "Hey, did you see the mullet?" He's just like trying a little too hard because he's like, oh, "Okay, I'm one of the 30 best fighters in the world in my weight class." But like, how am I going to make money? I need to be memorable. I need to like be funny. I need to be different. That was his shtick. Now today, he like was all business. He had like a quiet, like Mona Lisa, not Parks and Rec, like Da Vinci, but like a Mona Lisa like confidence and yeah, like a very like he knew his secret. And I think it's just like he's just like I don't gotta try to be funny or cute. I'm about to win. I'm about to choke this guy out. He said he's gonna choke him out. Every expert said he's gonna choke him out. We're not telling you anything new. Yeah, I think Tim Elliott's gonna choke this guy out. Yeah. Tim Elliott, old as he is, slow as he can be, he has like at least kind of consistent cardio. Espinoza like falls off a cliff cardio wise. So I think Tim Elliott round 3, Tim Elliott sub, Tim Elliott round 3 sub. None of those will hit. None of those
plus 500.
Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, so it was plus 800, then it went down to plus 400. They popped it back up to plus 5. I think that's still great value.
Yeah,
I think it's like a 33% chance, like a 1 in 3 chance that Tim Elliott chokes him out, a 1 in 3 chance that Tim Elliott wins by decision, and a 1 in 3 chance that Tim Elliott loses a decision.
Look at those submissions: round 1, 2, and 3, plus 1,200, plus 1,900, plus 2,200.
Yeah. Yeah, I love those. I love all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Like literally, but so then it's like, well, don't do those. Do the math. Just play by submission. But so
yeah.
No, but I think he absolutely, yeah, he's got great striking. Like you think he doesn't have great striking. It's because he's always fighting actually good fighters. He's always fighting contenders. When he fights Jordan Espinoza, you're gonna be like, my God, look at Tim Elliott's striking. So, all right, let's see what the tracks. Let's see. T-Rex, my boy T-Rex, love you, T-Rex. We got to go to fucking what is it? Hoo-ha. We got to go to Hoo-ha. We got to go get some fucking Asian food.
Yeah.
Love ya. Love Baby Yoda. My God, season 2 of Mandalorian. I say there should be no season 3. There should be no season.
We both agree on that.
Yeah, and people are
it ended perfectly.
It ended so perfectly.
His whole journey was to get Baby Yoda, Grogu, back to his people.
Jon Favreau said you can call him Baby Yoda.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
It's excusable.
It's excusable.
Okay.
Swing it. Yeah, it's money. You're so money you don't even know it. Like, my God, maybe like if my mom's watching, my mom might get that Swingers Jon Favreau reference, but no one else will.
All right. This next fight is Olivia Souza versus Amanda Lamos.
So as you all know, the bookies had Souza as a big favorite, and now she's a huge underdog. It's one of the biggest line movements we've seen in a long time. It reminds me of Norma Dumont versus Ashley Evans-Smith. The bookies had Norma Dumont as a favorite. Money poured in on Norma. We picked Norma. We recommended people to parlay Norma. It was Ashley. We were wrong. So like money poured in on Ashley, and we were like, the money's right. Pick Ashley. It was one of the worst picks we had all of 2020. It's on me. But the bookies were right. That's the long-winded point here, is that the bookies were right. The bookies knew that Norma was going to come in and do work. That's something to remember here. But I do think the bookies were wrong here. I do think that Lamos is way better pretty much everywhere. Souza looks so mean. She looked like if she came up and told me to give her my wallet, give her my wallet.
Take it.
I would push out. I'd be like, take her and my wallet, take it all. Don't fuck me up. Yeah, she's scary looking. I think that literally has got her to this point. She really doesn't have that much skills. And let me know if Yeah, what were the books thinking? I honestly don't know. Like I honestly don't know what they watched. Saw like even if you just look at the resume, sometimes you're like, okay, maybe they didn't watch tape, but they look at the resume and it looks like they beat a bunch of no. Lavina Souza's beat nobody. It's just ridiculous. I mean, Lamos is really better everywhere. So I must say, you all know Clint, diehard MMA podcast, one of the goats. You know, we always show love to the real goats. We do our best. We love fights. We watch tape. We prep. We usually give really good predictions, but we are not on the level of some of these guys. And Clint is one of the goats. Clint really didn't like the weigh-ins from Lamos today, and it made him lean Living Souza. So must mention that he's one of the goats. I didn't really see it. I didn't really see it. To be honest, I thought Souza looked a little soft. When she's bending over, like she just didn't look as muscled as she's previously been. She normally looks like she's got like a ton of testosterone running through her. And I didn't see that today. So, but I must say, like, I must just give you that transparency and that caution that somebody better than me, somebody better than us, said that they're heavy on Souza now after the weigh-ins. So I don't know if any of you have a lean there.
Yeah.
Clint is one of the goats. Clint's post weigh-in reads are one of the main reasons why he's one of the goats. However, he would have been up last year. He's very transparent. He's one of the reasons why he's so great is because he's so transparent. He was down last year, which is like fucking mind-blowing. It's like, how do you know that much about fighting and you're down last year? 2 reasons. Too greedy with the props. I know that game. And he hedged too much. He would be heavy on somebody, and then the post weigh-ins, he'd like hedge. And it ruined all his good reads. So love the guy. And now he's up this year because he's a dog hunter. Everyone knows if you just bet on underdogs this year, like you don't have to work anymore. Quit your job. Just put all your money.
You just never know which way the judges are going to go.
The judges and just crazy knockouts, just all the same with NBA. NBA underdogs, if you just bet NBA underdogs, put $1 on NBA underdogs all year, you'd be up like $1,000. It's insane. So, you know, as a parlay guy, it's especially painful, right? Blades and but so just something to keep in mind. So Clint this year is killing it. He's up like 22. He's up like more than he's ever been. He's just killing it. Love the guy. Happy for him. So happy for him because I hate when haters talk smack about anybody who puts in hard work and gives free advice, right? So you guys all love Clint. You guys all, if you're watching this, you obviously watched like 3 shows by Clint already this week. So, and God bless you. And please fucking smash the like for him. Like support those guys. So, but yeah, I'm on Lamos. I think the betters are correct here.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about Kai Car fans and Bonter, and that's when I totally messed up. Everyone, you guys didn't even roast us. You weren't even like, my God, we have like
we're
the best.
Just skipping around. We want to just shake it up a little bit. You know?
Shake it up. Shake like Michael Scott.
Yeah.
We have the best followers because I swear to God, I like all I do in all these other chats is like stand up for them. I'm like, hey, how do they know? Tapology and UFC have it different. People are just like, you don't even know. This is on the prelim. So nobody roasted us like that. You guys are the best.
Yeah. All right. So next one up is Joseph Benavidez versus Askarot.
So I was heavy on Askarot when he was plus money, putting him in every parlay. All those parlays are dead because they all had blades. Now Askarot is the favorite. I'm just saying, like I was heavy on, like when this line came out, I'm like, so Joe B just doesn't have that wrestling anymore. It's like Frankie Edgar. These guys that they got good. We know them because they had a great wrestling base, and then they became a wrestler boxer. Well, the longer their career goes on, like you have to train wrestling 20 hours a week, like at a vicious level to maintain that. And that's what college wrestlers do. That's what young UFC fighters do. But when you're like a famous UFC fighter, a former champ, that's not what you do. So Frankie Edgar, first fight in the UFC, takes down Tyson Griffin. Why am I talking about Frankie Edgar so much? Takes down Tyson Griffin. Like, holy shit, who's this guy, this new guy wearing yellow, taking down Tyson Griffin? I'm like, oh yeah, he's a college, he coaches wrestling, Now Frankie Edgar can't take anybody down, right? What fight are we even talking? Joe Benavidez. So now Joe Benavidez, now it's like, oh, he's a knockout artist with great scrambles, right? He's got great get-up game. Like, bro, this guy used to take everyone down. when I saw this line, I'm like, Askarov's going to take this guy down and win a decision. It's a lock. Money's poured in on Askar. Add to that the fact that I won't call Joe Benavidez chinny. Like, Davis and Figueiredo could sneeze and I would get knocked out. But I like guys to take a little more time off after they get so much damage. Right?
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. So it's not even like saying anything negative about Joe. It's like, man, and what's great about him is he's like, oh, I'm not going to be a champ now. My dream's shot. All of us like tear up. And he comes back. He's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm not going to be a champ anymore. I'm just about to beat all your asses. Like, I'm about to ruin a bunch of dreams. I'm about to just make money, put on exciting fights. I'm like, that all sounds great. But this Askarov is just like not the guy to do it against, right? Mm-hmm. So the thing is, Askar missed weight. Did he miss weight by 5 pounds like Norman Dumont, who we talked about earlier? No, he missed weight by 1 pound. What does that mean? It means he tried. It means he sucked all the water out. He didn't quit. He didn't quit early, start drinking water, start eating, and be like, okay, I'm going to give up 20% of my purse, but I'm about to get my win bonus. I'm about to just murk this guy. No, he tried his hardest, couldn't cut the weight, and then still took that pay cut, right? Like, that's how you know that's the type of fighter that you don't want to bet on. That's the type of fighter that's going to have negative effects tomorrow. Negative cardio and negative, like, chin, because like so much of your chin is based off blood getting to your brain, right? We've seen a lot of examples of these guys coming in overweight recently and getting knocked out early. And if there's a guy that's, I know a guy, Joey B, he can knock you out. It's such a tough one. I mean, I would just pass all day, but like, these are also the fights that add so much value to your parlays. Everyone wants to make 7 fight parlays of a bunch of minus 200s to get to their plus 1,000. That's not what like the Sharks do. The Sharks pick 2 favorites and an underdog, and they're at plus 1,000. Yeah. We've got a couple clients, we always get picks. So, and we'll talk about, God, I just got so many things in my mind. We got a couple clients. The smart one, this is what he requests. He's like, no, like, tell me the 2 locks and the biggest underdog that's going to win. And those 3 fighters are going into parlays. And he's slaughters. Like, that's how you do it. So like the guys who charge a ton of money for their UFC parlays, which is laughable, that's what they do. And that's why they hit, and that's why they're up, and that's why when they hit, it hits so big. And it's not an 8 fighter parlay, it's a 4 fighter parlay. So you guys get the point. But so these fights are the ones that do it. I want Tim Elliott on my parlays. I want one of these guys on my parlays, but neither one of I could just see this going 2 totally different ways. I was on Askar. The weigh-ins made me scared. Askar cut as much weight as he could and didn't look good. Joe B cut as much weight as he could and didn't look good. Then, half hour later, when they go to face off, Askar looked better. Like the same way Khabib looks like he's literally about to die, and then he drinks water, and it's like, how did you drink 30 pounds of water? You look like a middleweight. Khabib's the future middleweight champ, by the way, but you all see how thick that guy is now. But that's what Askar did. He looked good again, and Joe B still looked like a guy that you might want to help across the street. And so I'm on Askar, but just, my gosh, so much caution. All the experts, like, this is a pick and fight. All the experts are completely split. The expert I respect the most is Cody Saftik. He's on Joe B. I must tell you that. But yeah, Avs moneyline tickets. Nathan McKinnon, over 1.5 points, just easy money. I don't know if that hits tonight, but it often does. So Askar's the pick, I think.
Yeah.
All right, we got to keep moving. I'm long-winded. We're drinking.
All right, next one is Dominic Cruz versus Casey Kenny.
So this is another one that I was putting Cruz in parlays a couple weeks ago, and all those parlays are dead. I like Casey Kenny a lot. So Casey Kenny, he's fighting with Kai Matrix. We love Kai Matrix. But I feel like, did we miss that fight? Where's the Kylie Phillips? We got to talk. Yeah. All right, we'll come to Kylie Phillips after this. We love Kai Matrix. He's one of our favorites. I just probably didn't write it down. Don't worry. So Casey Kenny, he's a stud, well-rounded. Dominic Cruz, we've seen him come back after long layoffs and look great. but it's like doing that when you're 28, doing that when you're 32, doing that when you're 30. Like these 4-year layoffs, they're not going to work forever. But the thing is, normally he does a 4-year layoff and comes back against top 2 in the division. He comes back and looks good against Cejudo. He comes back and wins the title. Like Dominic Cruz is just different, absolutely just different. Money's now pouring in on him. It's like becoming more of a pick and fight. Cruz, Kenny, I think might be a little distracted. So, like on one hand, I could see Kenny thinking this is the biggest fight of his life, working harder than he's ever worked. Right? He just had a big fight against Nathaniel Wood. He gassed a little bit. You think, oh, well, maybe Casey Kenny has cardio issues. I could say, like, no, he's going to solve those cardio issues because he's fighting one of the GOATs, Dominic Cruz. He's fighting a broadcaster. He's fighting a former champion, future Hall of Famer, Dominic Cruz. Casey Kenny is going to have his cardio better. But, like, is he really? I mean, Nathaniel Wood's a formidable opponent. We all know Nathaniel Wood. UFC pays for, like, 4-minute videos advertising Nathaniel Wood on YouTube. It's insane. Like, I don't know why they're that high on him. Dominic Cruz is better than Nathaniel Wood. Do you know what the line would be if Dominic Cruz fought Nathaniel Wood? I don't understand how this fight's gonna go to decision. Give me the wily, smart veteran, baby. Cash one of our underdogs of the night. So Dominic Cruz, what's Dominic Cruz gonna do? Is Dominic Cruz gonna finish a fight? No. Dominic Cruz by points plus money.
Yeah, Dominic Cruz by points plus 175.
I think so. Let's say out of 10 fights, can he do that 3 times? Absolutely. Dominic Cruz by decision plus 175. I was seeing it like plus 155, anywhere in there. So good. So this is a tough one. I like Casey Kenny a lot. Casey Kenny wants to win. He's on this Megan Anderson card. 4 a.m. Megan Anderson. Casey Kenny needs to come out and look good because if he looks bad on this card, it's going to be embarrassing for him. So I like him. He's, like I said, he's fighting. He's an MMA Labs guy, but Dominic Cruz is different. Casey Kenny is the worst fighter that Dominic Cruz has fought in like 10 fights. And Dominic Cruz, even this Dominic Cruz, is the best fighter Casey Kenny's ever fought.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone disagrees because I'm really curious about this one, actually. Cruz decision, my favorite underdog. Yeah, Nicolas Clementos, my boy. He knows. He's a good musician, too.
Rakitch versus Santos over 1.5.
I like the over. I like the over 1.5 in the Rakitch versus Santos.
I like that, too.
I was all over the over in the Glover versus Santos, too. And that was lovely. Rakitch has got 2 things that like to slow fights down: leg kicks and wrestling. This fight, like, he's not going to go in there and throw a bunch of hooks with Thiago Santos. So I like the over there, and we'll talk more about that fight, of course.
Yeah, I think next up is the one you mentioned. Sorry for these being out of order. But next up is Kyler Phillips versus Song Yadong.
Kai Matrix versus Song Yadong. So, fuck. God damn it. All right. So we like Kyler Phillips a lot. He's really good. The Matrix, he's got diverse striking. He's in there doing breakdancing stuff. He's good, right? But like Yadong is good. Yadong's little but thick. Yadong boxer. Yadong relies on the hands primarily. But Yadong is a contender. There's some Saturday nights where Yadong goes in there and does great work. Yadong did great work against Chito Vera, Stamen, close fight. But I think Yadong's overrated. We've seen Yadong get finished early against Alexei Popolnikov, right? I think that Yadong might get beaten here. I think we might see Yadong get beaten worse than we've seen it since like years ago. Kyler Phillips is ready here. Kyler Phillips is amped. Kyler Phillips is so excited. Kai Matrix cannot wait to get his hands on Yadong.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah. And we like Kyler Matrix so much. He looked a little soft today. Yadong, in fairness, I'll give you props. Yadong looked shredded, vascular. Yadong was vascular at the weigh-ins today.
Sorry.
I'm so surprised how long both of us held on. Even just thinking about all these today, I couldn't get through them. Yeah,
too much.
I think Yadong's gonna get the job done tomorrow. I hate to say it because I like Matrix a lot, but I will say this. Okay, so MMA Labs, we talked about it. We got Batista, we got Kenny, we got Kai Matrix. What is MMA Labs known for? I'm pretty sure you know that. If Yadong will wilt under the pressure.
Oh my god.
Yadong can't stand the heat. Like Yadong is fine early, but when it gets in, like once it gets past 7.5 minutes, Yadong sometimes slows down. All right, so what's MMA Labs known for? What are these guys known for? Let's give you 2 seconds. Do we have any shots to take? No? All right, do you know?
I'm playing the Jeopardy music.
I know.
Okay.
Of course. We watch.
Yeah, it's calf kicks.
The calf kicks. No, yeah, you were good. So they're known for the calf. No one guessed. Well, when I watch YouTube videos, I'm usually like at least a couple minutes behind. So
yeah.
They're known for the calf kicks. Song Yadong, he's a boxer. Yadong relies on the hands, as I said. He's a little heavy on the front leg. I think Yadong might not take those low kicks very well. Those calf kicks might hurt Yadong, and we might see Yadong's mobility, just out the window, right? So I think Yadong's the safe pick here. The line's close, as we see. Money's been pouring in on the Matrix as it should. It's kind of a pass overall. I think they're both okay DFS plays. It should be a striking affair. We know that DraftKings changed the scoring, so the significant strikes are less important now, and the control time in the wrestling is more important. I don't think Yadong's gonna lay and pray here. So, I think they're both okay DFS plays, but not that great. I think this is kind of a pass. Also, this is a fight I'm really just excited to watch. I really want to see Yadong versus Phillips. So I think it's a pass, so you can just watch it and enjoy it. All right.
Okay, next one up.
But on its best night, Yadong is a contender. We got to see.
All right, next one up is Alexandra Rakitch versus Thiago Santos.
So I like Rakitch here. Rakitch, what's he great at? Also calf kicks. What's he great at? Wrestling. What does Thiago Santos not want to do? Get kicked in the legs, wrestle. He does not want to extend the cardio. Rakitch is smart enough to not bang with this guy. We saw Glover take a ton of damage. We all know how good Santos is, how heavy-handed Santos is. I think he's going to be smart enough to avoid that. He was just filthy with those leg kicks against Anthony Smith. He was really strong in the grappling against Devin Clark. So I think Rakitch is great here. I think I was playing Rakitch when he was -2 something. And now the line has come in. Money's poured in on, Maheta. I think the recent fight by Yana Kunitskaya, his fiance, looked great in her last fight. I was on Ketlin, so I was disappointed by that, but we all know that Yana looked really good. And I think honestly a little bit of money might be coming in on Thiago because of that. He looked pretty good at weigh-ins, but in the last couple weeks, his YouTube video, his Instagram videos and stuff, he looks soft and kind of thin. It didn't look like he had a lot of musculature. There's just so many unknowns with Santos, and Rakitch has multiple paths to victory here. Pretty big on Rakitch, and I'm getting heavier and heavier on him since the money's been coming in on. Yeah, he's alligator arms and torso. It's kind of like Jan versus Dom, and those body kicks were just so effective for Blachowicz because of it. I could see a little bit of that happening here too. And the thing is, Maheta, he doesn't want to kick because I don't think his legs are 100%. But also, he doesn't want to kick here because he can get taken down. Rakitch is going to have more opportunities, more options. He can kick, and just like Khabib, he can fake a level change or throw an overhand. I think Rakitch is great value here. Actually, like I'm not a money line guy, but this is a money line. What is it, like -170 or something? This is a money line that I wouldn't hate at all. Let's see what you guys think. Dead body warning. Beat the bookies. UFC likes the under. You guys are seeing it in action, baby.
I almost crashed the light on Aaron.
Almost crashed the light. So let's see a couple quick props here. I do like the overs. Everyone's on the over. So like Cody Saftik, the smartest guys in the world, they're on the over here. The over is like 1.5. It's like, my God, yeah, we know Thiago Santos' first round knockout or bust, but like, how is the over always 1.5? The over hits. The over hitting Glover. The over 1.5 is hitting here. It's getting a little steamed, but the over 2.5 might be pushing it a little bit. Like I really just think the play here is Rakitch money line, and I never play a favorite in a money line straight up unless it's like Luana Pinheiro played so much on her.
I cannot wait to see her UFC debut.
Yeah,
he hears it every day. Cheers.
Who
We're
else?
taking a shot.
Yeah.
You didn't mention.
Who else? Rafael dos Anjos -200 over Felder. Was extremely heavy on that. And I was like, even though there's other fights on this card that I'm confident in, I don't care. I'm not screwing around. Like, I'm just taking this free money. Mm-hmm. Felder, what a stud. Looked great. But, yeah, you know, it's very rare. Like, I got to be really confident in the money line to just hammer a money line like that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Islam Makhachev versus Drew Dober.
Drew Dober, Colorado boy. He's a cool guy from what I hear. I love his swag. He's a swagger hound. You know, Islam Makhachev. Obviously, he's from the Khabib camp. You know, he's part of that fam. Mm-hmm. You know, Dana Cormier says he's a better wrestler than Khabib. There's a lot of hype around that, right? But it's like, so DC will say that when they came to AKA 5-6 years ago, Islam was a better wrestler. So it's like, okay, so when Islam got knocked out a couple years ago, he was a better wrestler than Khabib. Like, you got to take some of that with a grain of salt. You know, they said this guy was the best wrestler in the UFC, better than Khabib, better than DC 5 years ago. Well, you know, like, what happened? You know, so obviously he's a stud. He's huge. Drew Dober has obviously the knockout power. But it's going to take a Derek Lewis, like, uppercut while Islam is trying to close the distance type of knockout to do it here. I don't see any other way. He's not going to outpoint him. He's going to be on the cage, small cage. Everyone, we should have waited to drink. I can't believe we haven't said small cage yet. They're in the small cage. Islam is an absolute lock here.
Yeah.
Die Hard MMA podcast. We have Clint. We have Clint here.
Wow.
Oh, my
Welcome
God.
And thank you.
Clint, you fucking go.
We're honored.
I hope you were here when we were talking about you earlier. We were talking about you not too long ago. What was it about? Tim Elliott by submission. We're talking about you. What was it? The Medic.
The weigh-ins.
Yeah, the Medic weigh-ins and the Lamos weigh-ins.
Yeah.
We talked about how Clint is on Souza, which makes a ton of sense. The bookies are not usually wrong. Clint, we freaking love you. You positive genius, man. Talked about how Clint, you're up like 22 units this year or something because the underdogs are just cashing.
Yeah. Clint
catches so much dogs that you can hear them in the background. we got Jin here too. We know some of you are here just for Jin. Clint, we're freaking honored. I can't even tell you, bro.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, so Makhachev. I mean, we don't need to delay too much here. Makhachev by decision, obviously. Right. I'm not telling you anything you guys don't know.
Yeah. All right, next up, we've got Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling.
So it's interesting, you know, like me and my brother, a lot of people were on Aljo weeks ago, like a long time ago when he was a big favorite or underdog. My God. Clint, you got me all fucking flustered. So we're on Aljo as the underdog. You know, he trains with a lot of guys here, you know, and he's bigger. He's just bigger. He's got the grappling edge. He's in the small cage. Now, in fairness, he did kind of cheat against Sandhagen. He did, you know, kind of walk up the cage a little bit, right? But just that performance against Sandhagen was so, like, otherworldly. It was literally just one of the best performances we've ever seen. Sandhagen is a monster with the grappling, right? So
yeah,
it's, you know, and you could say that Jan has been hand-fed. You know, I was big on Aldo over Cheeto. A lot of people were on Cheeto, so I'm not just like anti-Aldo, but come on, I think Aljamain would definitely finish Aldo faster than Jan did, you know. And so you can't always do MMA math, but like sometimes that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
So I think in the small cage, Aljo should just have the edge here. Aljo is very kind of weird with this, like, oh, you can't catch a mouse, you can't catch what you can't see, mousetrap. Like Aljo's talking a little too much. It's making me a little nervous. Like in poker, you know, if somebody's bluffing, like once they start talking, you know that they don't have anything.
Right.
Aljo's talking a little too much. It's making me a little uncomfortable here. Jan just looks incredibly confident. I think that Jan's gonna stand on his feet. I think he's gonna stay up and win. And I'm like, it's a new lean. I was on Aljo pretty much the whole time for weeks, you know, months ago when this fight was first announced. The small cage made me even more confident in Sterling. But recently, I think that even if he gets him down, he's not going to finish him. This fight, the overs, everyone knows. Everyone's on the overs. The overs have been steamed. It was 2.5. Now it's 3.5. But I think that Jan is going to have the striking edge. They both have great cardio. It's just such a close fight. It's such a great one to pass on and enjoy it. These guys, these are two of the top 15 fighters in the world. Aljo has deserved this shot for a long time. He's finally getting it. Like, I kind of just want to enjoy it because one of these guys, like, if Jan wins, there's no other formidable competition for him. If Aljo wins, then there's no formidable competition for him either. Like, this is just like, and I could totally see this fight becoming like a split decision. Like, I could totally see this fight getting run back and then a rematch.
Yeah.
This honestly might be a fight to get the plus 6,600 draw prop.
Yeah.
But I think if I have to pick, I think Jan's going to get it.
Yeah. That's going to be a good one.
Let me see if anyone.
All right.
You can't hit what you can't see. You can't hit what you can't see. Just, he seems a little too talkative. And Jan's like, oh, the closer we get to the fight, you're not talking as much, big mouth, right? So maybe Aljo wants to go in there, but it seems a little too much. It seems like Aljo seems like he's primed for an adrenaline dump tomorrow, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
This is big for him. He's deserved this for so long. He's finally getting it. It's on a card with 4 champions. I think I would be just highly impressed and pleasantly surprised and wrong if Aljo doesn't have a big adrenaline dump tomorrow. I don't see how he doesn't. I don't see how this moment doesn't get to him a little bit. To me, it appears that it has already.
Yeah.
Aljo's faced harder opponents. Absolutely agree. Jan hasn't faced anybody like Aljo. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree with that. You know, but again, I don't think Aldo's totally past his prime. I don't think Aldo's a total bum anymore, like some do, or already. I don't think he's a bum already, like some do. So
right.
I think Jan's competition, I agree. You know, it's not as good as Aljo's, but I think it's a little underrated. And he just does. It's not. You know, we always say you can't control your strength of schedule. How do you look against them? Aljo looks real good. Aljo goes in there and finishes the new #1 contender. Corey Sandhagen is about to fight TJ Dillashaw. And I think I honestly don't see a great path to victory for TJ there. Coming after a long layoff, no reach, less, you know, he's got the good footwork. He's got great diverse striking. We all know how good TJ is. But, you know, I'm big on Corey. And Aljo made it look easy. Like, this is just such a tough one. I hurt even picking Jan, but I think Jan's going to be able to stay on his feet for over half the fight. And that majority of the fight, I think he's going to win the striking. When and where can I watch the fight? ESPN Plus. Yeah. $70 plus tax.
Yeah. This is not sponsored.
This is not sponsored, no.
ESPN, you want to sponsor?
Yeah, honestly. Literally, I will drink any type of seltzer you want. Yeah. I will fucking wear anything you want. But
anything but Fireball, please.
Well, hey, you can't say that. Like, I don't think she. Clint, that's blasphemy. No, we drink all. We drink Fireball. We drink Fireball. We love Fireball. We drink whiskey.
I love burning.
Dana White loves you. I know. I was like, DM us and we'll tell you the stream. We'll tell you the stream locks.
Yeah.
But Uncle Dana, it's worth it. There's 4 champions. Fork up that $77, including tax.
Yeah.
Uncle Dana, he knows my address, surely.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh, we're getting into it. Are you ready? I don't
know if you guys know. I don't know if you know.
We've got Amanda Nunes,
The GOAT.
The GOAT of women's MMA.
No.
Versus
the GOAT.
Megan Anderson.
She's the GOAT.
She's the GOAT.
She's the GOAT.
Like, but people will debate that. There's no debating that she's the GOAT of women's MMA.
So I'll tell you.
But she's the ultimate GOAT. I agree with you.
I'll tell you.
But people will debate.
Let's talk real quickly about the double champs. Yeah, Nunes by decision. Fucking luck. How can that be plus 450? No way. Because people think she's going to win first round or something, which is a little ridiculous. If Nunes plus 450, yeah. What else did we come across earlier? What was that plus 1,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk the double champs real quickly. I won't derail us too long here. DC, we love DC. DC, you're not in the chat. So he's multi-platform, but DC is not the real light heavyweight champ. We all know that. John Jones is. Yes, he went up and yes, he knocked out Stipe. I love him, but he's not a real double champ. Cejudo, as much as I hate him, yeah, he moved up. Not only did he move up and beat a real champ, he moved up and beat a roided up champ. Cejudo deserves some credit. And then Connor, yes, not only did he win the interim versus Chad Mendez, but then he knocked out Aldo in seconds, right? Then he moved up and beat a real champion, Eddie Alvarez. All 3 of those are pretty real. But Amanda cleaned out a division, then moved up and beat a GOAT, then defended it. Amanda's just the most true double champ there is. There's no debating it. Yeah. She's the most true double champ there is. There's no debating it. She's such a badass.
I can't get over it.
No, I was on her before she's in UFC.
Suit. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Love it. No. I was on her before she's in UFC because she's like the only woman knocking women out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Megan Anderson's last knockout against Norma Dumont. Megan Anderson leaves her head in the air at a Ronda Rousey type level. I'm not exaggerating. I bet you mostly have noticed it, but if you haven't noticed it, you go back and just watch her knock out Norma Dumont. Her head is like so in the air, it's almost, I can't believe it. It's like if a baseball's coming to you, and no matter how long you play baseball, you cannot like close your eyes and catch a baseball. You just can't. Like your body can. I don't know how she can literally stand in the octagon with her head that straight up in the air. It's like your body
against everything she should have been taught.
No, even more than that, it's like your body won't allow it.
Yeah.
When you touch a hot plate and your body reacts, and then you feel the heat. It's like your body has built-in protections to protect you from holding your head straight up in the air. Like that's why people who try suffocating themselves then like try getting down. Like your body has protections in place to stop, like to save you, even if you're belligerent or whatever. I don't know how she can hold her head that straight up in the air and like look at punches coming her way. She catches Norma Dumont with like the shortest, like a Rich Franklin versus Chuck Liddell type of like the shortest punch you've ever seen. I think it's a little bit of a fluky knockout. Now, again, we saw Norma Dumont. How many times have we talked about Norma Dumont tonight? It's unreal. She has vicious striking. She went in there against Ashley, and Ashley's pitter-pattering, and Norma Dumont's throwing heavy, vicious striking. Like, I have a decent respect level for Dumont. And Megan knocked her out with like a really short punch. It's just a little fluky. Norma, Ashley or Megan Anderson never beat anybody. God, stop talking about Ashley fucking Evans Smith and her wannabe Christy Mack haircut. Like, yeah, so Megan, it's like, oh, she's plus 1,000. Megan by knockout, she's not going to win a decision. We all know she's not going to outpoint Amanda Nunes for 25 minutes. Can she knock her out? Maybe. Yeah. What's the problem with that? Plus 1,500. Everyone's on that. Don't blame you. But it's like, we all know. So what do we all know? We all know Amanda Nunes could out wrestle her. Can she though? We talk about it. It's like taking the table down. Megan Anderson's so long. Norma Dumont, like you cannot get her with a single leg. If Amanda Nunes gets a double on her, she might be able to suck those knees out and get her down. Pull the pipe, get her down. You cannot get a single leg takedown on Megan Anderson. She's too tall. I just think this one is so freaking sketchy to me. I like the overs. This one's really sketchy. There's no value in putting Amanda Nunes at minus 1,000 in your parlays and getting an extra like 15% or something. Don't do it. Really, the overs and unders here are kind of fluky and kind of like risky. I can see this fight ending in all 5 rounds or a decision. This is just the biggest pass of all time. Watch the GOAT. Appreciate her. Don't get mad because your prop didn't hit. Don't get mad because watch the GOAT.
Is literally at -112 both ways.
What round?
The
over 1.5.
Just the over, over 1.5, under 1.5, both at -112.
Hammer that.
Just
over. Hammer the over.
The over.
Hammer the over.
So?
Yes, because Megan Anderson's not going to go in there in a cyborg.
Right.
What's the problem with Nunes though? It's like it's same with Izzy. We'll talk about Izzy in a sec. All of his knockout highlights, he's like getting punched, knocking somebody out. Like Megan Anderson's not the fucking huckleberry to do that with. Jan is not the one to do that with. It's a little concerning, you know. So everyone's just like, oh, well, Amanda Nunes is going to take her down. Amanda Nunes is going to take her down. My God. Play the over. Like, I don't think this one's ending in a first round knockout. Play the over 1.5, -112. My God. Yeah. That's by far my favorite play.
All right.
Love the -190 for it to go past the first round. Yeah. So it's so great. So only some cards used to offer those rounds, like Points Bet. Points Bet offered those like fight to start round 2. And you hear some of these handicappers talk about it. You're like, what the hell? You know, DraftKings and FanDuel don't offer that. Finally, FanDuel, this hideous, terrible new layout they rolled out. The benefit is they have these extended props. Yeah. So it's like, what happens at the end of round 1? Or what happens in round 1? Knockout, submission, or fight continues to the next round. Fight continues to the next round, -190. Yeah. Absolutely. When and where can I watch the fight? Fuck that. Yeah, stream. So I won't tell you anything about UFC streaming, but I can tell you if you want to watch NBA streaming, you might do crack streams or buff streams or NBA bite. If you want to watch NFL streams, you might do buff streams, crack streams, or NFL bite. I could go through more examples, but I hope you guys get the gist. Yeah. All right. But we ordered these pay-per-views for real. Believe it or not, I'll show you the Venmos. So yeah, because we send money to my mom, she orders it. Yeah. We all watch it together. I don't want my mom catching no viruses and shit. So yeah. We order them. His
mom gave us a little grief last week for not uploading our predictions, and she was taking shots via her predictions.
Oh my God.
And we didn't provide any insight. So
they have to take a shot.
That was a rough night for everyone.
They have to take a shot if they're wrong on a fight, and they have to take a shot whether they're right or wrong if the fight ended inside the distance. Right. So last week was like a 12-fight card.
That's rough.
Yeah, all those prelims, all those prelims, the underdogs were winning inside the distance, and my mom was lit, and so she wasn't even texting. She wasn't even texting by the main card. And I guarantee she picked Blades, so just like because she listens to me too much, and so yeah, guarantee that Lewis knockout was two shots. Yeah. It
was rough for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
We're ready.
We're moving on to the main card
here. So I told you, did we say it? Yeah, somebody's taking the top off for the main card.
Oh.
Is you? Nope.
Oh. Oh. You flipped it.
You flipped it. Well, that's perfect because they come back to the style bender, baby. Let's go. So I'm picking Jan. Just kidding. I do like Jan a lot. Israel.
Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz.
Adesanya. Israel. Adesanya. The last style bender. What do we know about Jan? He's undefeated in his last 5 or 6 fights or whatever. You know what the bookies did? And you know what the bettors did? They put him as the underdog in all of those. When are we going to respect this guy? He's got the ridiculous knockout power. He's got the body kicks that left the biggest body welt on a fighter that I can recall. You guys remember, and this is not a white guy. This is not an Irish guy. This is not Paul Felder taking that body. This is Dominic Reyes with a ridiculous body welt that looked like, Mom, like a spatula. Like if I was back in the day, back when beating kids was legal, a spatula, like welts. Who else got beat in this chat? Guarantee you all have manners. Guarantee you all say please and thank you. You hold doors open for people. Guarantee everyone in this chat who got spanked as a child probably is a good person now. And because it teaches you a lesson, especially when your mom comes up the stairs with a spatula with those the air vents, it whistles through the air, the aerodynamic in those welts.
Real specific here.
Yeah, and that is what Israel Adesanya might catch from Jan. That's what Dominic Reyes had going on.
And it all connects.
I got whooped to the belt. Yeah, exactly. I'm so amazed. There's not been one time tonight that I went on a tangent and failed to bring it back around. But so what do we know? What do we know about Izzy? He's only been knocked out by Alex Pereira, the best kickboxer of all time. Like, what does Izzy want to do? He wants to dance around. Is that good in the small octagon? Not necessarily. Izzy told Ariel Helwani that he wants to submit Jan. Did I put that in a parlay? You already know I did. Plus 2,300, I think. If we can see what it is now. What's it now? Israel by submission. I think I got it like plus 2,300. Put it in with like the over 1.5 in the Lamos fight. What is it now? No, submission.
Oh, by submission, sorry.
Plus 2,300 still. Yeah. So do I really think that's going to happen? No. You all know that none of my degenerate props hit, but I think how could that happen?
They're worth it.
Could Jan get tired?
$1 on that?
Yeah. Well, it's only $23, but still, yeah. But you put that in a parlay with Brady, with the Lamos over, and with Batista, and now you all see why I win the bets. Yeah. So, how could that happen? Could Jan get clubbed and subbed, where he gets rocked and gives up a guillotine? Maybe. Could he get gassed? We haven't really seen it. But yeah, I could see him getting gassed. We know that Izzy can go 5 rounds. We know that. We've seen it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Izzy said he wants to submit the guy. It's plus 2,300. Who am I to fucking argue with this man? Nobody. So
it's a sweet shirt.
It's a sweet shirt. It's a little weird. It's got this weird little triangle.
Yeah, it's style bending.
He's bending styles. That's pretty
bending
sweet.
styles.
Yeah. But walked around all day with the Amanda Nunes shirt on. Nobody knew that I had the style bender underneath. You all thought you were going to see something sexy. Little did you know. Far from it.
We're trolling.
Trolling. Does this prop sound good? Either fighter to get KO or TKO? Yes. But let's see what that is. So let's say fight ends by TKO.
Right.
How will fight end? KO. Minus 165. I don't like that. I think that's too steep. Yeah. To be honest, let me know if anyone disagrees. Minus 165 for this fight to end by KO specifically.
Right. It's by submission plus 700, by points plus 175.
For this fight to end by points plus 175, I could totally see that. Izzy's gone to points multiple times recently, right?
Minus 165 doesn't really make sense to me.
Well, yeah, they just really think that Izzy's like it's some recency bias.
Knockout either way, they think.
They think so. Because Jan's going to be cutting off the angles, throwing those heavy body kicks. Jan said he's going to knock out Izzy by head kick.
Right.
Yeah, if Jan wins, it's by KO, right? He's got the Polish power, as I mentioned earlier. Every knockout you see, every highlight you see by Israel Adesanya, he's got a fucking chin on his knuckles on his chin. Every knockout, everyone. Not exaggerating. Every knockout by Izzy, he's got knuckles on his chin while he's knocking this guy out. You do that against Jan Blachowicz, and all of a sudden you're, 30-1 or whatever it is. He's not 30, but Jan is not the one to trade one to give one, take one to give one. So, all right. Jan rushes wildly, will catch a clean counter, 3rd round. So I don't see that actually. Jan doesn't rush wildly. He didn't rush wildly against Reyes. The small cage, I think Jan wants the over. I think Jan does not want to just press this and walk into something. Like Jan thinks he's going to set up a head kick. I don't necessarily agree with it. But I don't think he's going to be overly aggressive, so it's more of like an over-under point that I'm making. I don't think he rushes in fast. What else? Jan wins by KO. Is this possible to go to the distance? I think it's absolutely possible. Plus 175. I think it's absolutely possible to go to the distance.
Absolutely, yeah. So
Izzy knocked out Whitaker, went to the distance against Romero, went to the distance against Gastelum, went to the distance against Anderson Silva. Who else? I know I'm forgetting. But Izzy goes over. Yeah, Jan knocks people out recently. but it's I mentioned it earlier. It's actually like an unsustainable kind of, I won't call it fluky, but it's like it's an unsustainable level of knockouts, of finishes that Jan's getting. Reach till the tape. So interestingly, I know they both have similar leg reach, which is really interesting. Jan is kind of like a T-Rex, like somebody said in the chat earlier. So Jan, he seems like he doesn't have reach. He's got equal leg reach here, interestingly. Somebody, I'm not looking that up. That's just what I recall. I do believe he's got the longer arms though. So maybe we'll get out of here in a sec. We appreciate you all. You guys are amazing. I want to take a look at a couple futures real quick and see what's jumping out for lines that we can get ahead of. Yeah. So full transparency, we lost an insane amount because of Connor losing. And we lost like a really big amount because of Blades losing. Historically, though, looking ahead and finding these lines that we're really confident in, it's okay. It's all one money. Except, just don't look at my deposits. Just kidding. So the historically looking ahead at these lines has paid so insane, crazy dividends. Getting Khabib at minus 255, getting these guys really early. So I'm all about it.
Amanda Nunes is like minus 1,200 right now. I don't even know.
She is. And so when this fight was booked a couple months ago or whatever, she was like minus 590 was the highest she got. Like looking ahead at these lines can be really, really, really beneficial. So looking ahead, Bellator, I like Ryan Bader to win, mainly because Lyoto Machida is my favorite fighter. So I'm like, I kind of just want to put Bader in every parlay. So when Machida loses, I won't be that devastated. The Anthony Johnson versus Yoel fight is a pick'em now. Yoel was a bigger favorite. Money's pouring in on Anthony Johnson. I need to see them. We can't think of those. We can't think of Anthony Johnson just like grows weed now. Like we can't put too much stock in that. Money's pouring in on Phil Davis versus champion Nemkov. That's interesting. And then Corey Anderson's the favorite against Yakshimaredov. And out of those, Bader just jumps out of you. We know that Machida doesn't have the takedown defense. It's really disappointing. So I like Bader on a future. Darren Stewart versus Eric Anders. Darren Stewart's going to slaughter him. Jonathan Martinez versus Davey Grant. Jonathan Martinez is minus 300. Davey Grant is too good for that. I see a lot of value on Davey Grant. I think that line is going to slim down. Ashley Yoder versus Angela Hill is back available. It's for March 13th.
I was so looking forward to that.
Yeah, the line is way thinner now. Angela Hill is minus 350. Yoder now, so I liked Yoder on short notice. Yoder with a little more time. I'm big on Yoder. We've seen Angela Hill submitted. We've seen her taken down and grappled. Yeah, she's shredded. She's looking so much. Ashley Yoder gets so much better every fight. She's looking in the best shape ever every time we see her. I'm really big on Ashley Yoder.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We know it's going to decision. Every fight of both of theirs goes to decision. And you're telling me that Ashley Yoder is not going to get her down and hold her down for at least 5-6 minutes? I think she can. Big on Ashley Yoder, but the line is only plus 280 now. So I think they're onto it a little bit. And again, she was on short notice. Now she has more time to prep, so it's fair that the line gets a little slimmer. I like Nasrat Hakparast minus 290 on versus Don Madge. I'm big on Nasrat. Minus 290 feels really wide. He's going to be like minus 450 by the time the fight starts. Bilal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards. I'm a big Bilal guy. I want to pick Bilal, plus 215, but I think Leon. I think that's the threshold. I don't think Bilal's beating Leon. We haven't seen Leon in a long time. There are some question marks, but people sleep on Leon. We all know. And I'm a Khamzat guy. I had Khamzat over Leon, but as much as I want to pick Bilal there, I think the fight to go to decision is the play. Dricus du Plessis versus Trevin Giles. Dricus is plus 136 versus Trevin Giles. Underdog Dricus, please. Tai Tuivasa versus Dontel Mays. Tai Tuivasa is minus 255. I like Tai a lot. One of our best client plays last year was Tai Tuivasa to knock out Stefan Struve round 1. I don't think he's that much better than Dontel Mays, though. And Dontel Mays is big and getting in better and better shape. Yeah, he gassed bad against Rocky Martinez or whatever. And Rocky had great fight IQ in that third round. Rocky was going for the finish. He wasn't just hanging out. He knew he was down. He was going for the finish big time. But I think Dante May's plus 210 there is absolutely live against Tai Tuivasa. He's a monster.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, that line's been minus 158. I thought money was going to pour in on Kevin Holland. I've been popping Kevin Holland in parlays. Those parlays are dead now, thanks to Derek Lewis. But Kevin Holland, minus 158. I think there's great value there. Derek Brunson is like 3-0. He doesn't consider his whole record his record. He considers his record 3-0 because he's with a new team and he's killing it. So don't sleep on the guy. The guy beat Machida. I fucking hate him, but I think Kevin Holland is great value at minus 158. I'm really surprised that line hasn't moved. Miranda Maverick minus 160 over Jillian Robinson. That fight's been moved to March 27th. Big on Miranda Maverick before. Big on her right now at minus 170 or minus 160. Sean O'Malley minus 300 versus Thomas Almeida, pass. Luana Pinheiro minus 200 against Random Marcos.
Oh my god!
I think Luana Pinheiro minus 200 is a great value.
I have been on that girl since I saw that armbar she did.
The armbar where like,
and I called that thing no
like
contender series. I said she is gonna slaughter. She did.
No, like this armbar was so vicious that I thought she saw a spider.
Vicious.
I thought you saw a spider.
You screamed. I couldn't.
Screamed.
I might have.
You did. No, then when I saw it, I screamed. It was like the most vicious armbar. It
just was held there for so long. I'm like, her arm is broken. You're not going to stop.
I can't believe I can't remember the girl's name. I want to say it's like Castella something.
Because whoever, I wish I did remember her name because she's a fucking like. I'm
pretty sure I followed her. I was like, you're a monster. No, I've been dropping F-bombs. We're live. We're live.
Yeah.
It's 10:24 Mountain Time. Like, this is like SVP after hours.
Oh, but that armbar was vicious, and she just stayed in it. Her arm was fully broken, and she's like, "I'm not tapping." So I respect that too. But Luana Pinheiro, she is a beast.
She's a beast. She's an absolute beast.
Like below Amanda Nunes. She's like my new favorite women's MMA fighter for real.
She's blooming. William Knight versus Alonzo. No, we're big on Luana. We're big on Luana Pinheiro. You know what? She can get down on the guitar too.
Yeah.
She's a gangster. Alonzo Minifield versus William Knight. Minus 110, minus 110. William Knight by decision. Some of the best value you've ever freaking seen. I was so disappointed when this fight fell off a couple weeks ago. William Knight is 2,000,000% going to hold this guy against the cage. There's no questions about it. William Knight minus 110. Add it to everything you play. I swear to God, I'm that confident in it. Normally my banks could be Curtis Blades minus 250, minus 270, minus 370. I swear to God, every play now that this is available again, every play I play, or at least half of them, because I want some money to come in. Half the plays I play, I'm adding William Knight, and as soon as the method props become available, William Knight by decision, cage, lay and pray. There's no other way that fight goes. I swear to God. Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega. So excited about that one. So many unknowns. Marty Usman, Marty Fake Newsman, spreading the fake news. Love you. Thanks for the view, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Marty Fake Newsman.
Thanks for taking the time to watch the Worst Prediction channel. We appreciate you so much.
We appreciate you. I wish there was a better prediction channel for you to watch right now.
My nose itches.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Marty, I know that your friends and your girlfriend are clamoring for you to stop watching this. So go plow, bro. Go plow. Norma Dumont versus Bia Malecki. Norma Dumont minus 245. Lock it in. Add it. Nina Ansaroff. Stud. Love her. She's a slight favorite over Mackenzie Dern. That's wild to me. Yeah. Mackenzie Dern minus 104. Interesting. Sam Alvey versus Zach Cummings. Interesting. Zach Cummings looked real good against I want to say Alessio Di Chirico. Yeah, it's Alessio Di Chirico. We thought Alessio Di Chirico was a clown. and he comes out and fucking knocks out Joaquin Buckley. So,
Yeah.
you know, that Zach Cummings, that win, that Alessio Di Chirico win for Zach Cummings looks better and better, right? Sam Alvey, we love Smiling Sam. Love Sam Alvey, just adopted a kid recently. We love Sam Alvey.
Love that.
He's the sweetest guy. He hops on Die Hard MMA podcast and makes predictions with Clint, the GOAT.
Yeah.
We love Sam Alvey. You know, Marvin Vittori's favorite over Darren Till. I could see it. I actually think Till. I like Till as the underdog there.
That's just gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a banger, yeah. It's like for the best fighter in Europe title.
Yeah.
Fucking Connor, piece of shit. Mike Perry versus Daniel Rodriguez. Mike Perry plus 125. Daniel Rodriguez minus 150. There's a lot of variables. Mike Perry. Who knows what Mike Perry we're going to see on April 10th? But I think
you never know what Mike Perry you're going to see anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
yeah.
410. No, I don't mean April 10th. I mean 4:10 a.m. this morning at some fast food restaurant fighting a janitor.
You just never know.
Yeah. Daniel Rodriguez minus 150. Great value. Love that. Hate that. Oh God. Was that a plant podcast or a true crime podcast?
Plug morbid podcast in here.
I was like, am I quoting one of your plant podcasts or one of your true crime podcasts?
Go listen to morbid podcast, and if they hear this, I am gonna like literally not be among the living anymore. That's also.
It's a pun, yeah. No, no. There's gonna be true crime on pay-per-view for $77 tomorrow. Davis to Figueiredo minus 250. Lock it in. He was in the hospital. He got robbed. He won that 5th round. He won that fight. A judge gave that 5th round to Brandon Moreno because Joe Rogan, Brandon Moreno, wow. Brandon Moreno, wow.
When he's not even landing things.
Yeah, he's not like he's just glancing strikes off elbows. And Brandon Moreno has the champion wobbled. Fuck you, Joe Rogan. Oh my God, Joe Rogan, you cost me so much money. You're sitting next to the judges, screaming and yelling, Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno is gonna get killed. Figgy is gonna end this guy.
Can't wait.
And there's gonna be a fucking true crime podcast about it. She's gonna listen to it.
It all came full circle.
Yeah. Oh my God. Again, last time. We gotta leave on a high note. I keep bringing things full circle. You all know what it is. I would say parlay Izzy and Amanda Nunes, but you'd have to pay like $300 to win 100. So if you're not already, go join the Patreon. Elite Shadow, love you. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Quick about the Patreon. So will we charge you for these terrible UFC degenerate props? No. All of our UFC advice is always free. We started a Patreon because the other sports advice is really insanely legit. So computer simulations of the college basketball games, they've been killing it. The last couple of weeks, or no, like last 3 days, honestly, they've been bad. Some of these teams are just resting players before March Madness and stuff, and the computer can't account for that. The robot locks are really bad the last 3 days. It's stressing me out. I shouldn't even mention it, but it's just stressing me out. I'm sorry to Elite Shadow and all of you on here. We had Bradley. So just college basketball is rough right now. These computer simulations are freaking amazing, though. They hit it like 2/3. They hit it like 67% against the spread. Like, these aren't money line picks. They're against the spread picks or over under picks. They hit it like 2/3. Right. They're best for baseball, soccer, and football. Really good for basketball. NBA, they suck because all these NBA players, like Kawhi, after DFS lock, decides to sit.
Yeah.
Next night, Paul George stands up too fast. I'm a little dizzy. Decides to sit. Like, so these NBA, it doesn't work for at all because there's just no accounting for what these guys are going to do. NBA is all about being up to date on your news, right? Mm-hmm. But so robot simulations, robot locks for college basketball, they're freaking amazing. Perhaps the best thing, they're great. Oh, they're great for March Madness. Like, if you're doing brackets without some help, you're silly. But so the best thing is the first basket score, and you can bet this even on like MyBookie and these international websites. The first basket score from a team perspective, we hit it like 80%. Researching jump ball winners, and there's some teams like the Wizards, interestingly, who only win like 38% of jump balls, but they actually score the first basket more than 50%. They're really good at getting a stop and getting a transition bucket. That's kind of like the exception to the rule. You know, most of it is about who wins jump balls. So like Nikola Jokic, one of the best jump ball winners in the NBA. You think, wait, he has the worst hops. Like this guy's the worst. You know, there's just so much research that goes into it. So everyone's like, oh, who do I play for first jump ball score? Giannis at plus 340, Jokic at plus 460, MPJ at plus 900. And we're just given, like, once you know which team is going to score, it gets really lucrative and really juicy to hit these player prop bets. So we hit the player props pretty often. We hit Dante at plus 1,000, Duncan Robinson at plus 900, like all the time, like 3 times this year. You know, like Alonzo, Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah.
You know, MPJ and like Will Barton, like showing these guys that are plus 1,000, but they score the first basket like 20%. It's different. So because the bookies do it, they say, okay, who's going to win the game? The Lakers are going to win the game. Well, then they're obviously going to win the first basket, right? No, like they suck at jump balls. And then they say, okay, well, which player is going to win the first basket? They just go based off points per game. Well, no, like the Nuggets don't run Jamal Murray to score first basket. They try to get Millsap and MPJ going. The Bucks don't necessarily try to run for Giannis to score first basket. They try to get a shooter a bucket, or they try to get Lopez going. Mm-hmm. Embiid scores the first Sixers basket like 58% of the time. It's unreal. Like Embiid scores the Sixers first basket 58% of the time, and every night he's like plus 500. Like we hammer Embiid basically every night. It's like free money. He scores the first basket game wide at like 35%, and he's plus 500 every night. It's just really ridiculous. So the first basket score all drop. So NBA DFS, you know, one of the good things we do for UFC is we tell you all the other 10 great experts picks. So it saves you like 30 hours of research. So Fight Night picks, Cody, you know, Clint, all these guys. And we tell you, like, go watch them. You need to still watch these videos.
Absolutely.
But if it's Saturday, we only release these Saturday morning. It's like, if you haven't watched, you obviously don't have time to watch now.
Right.
Let us save you 30 hours. We still encourage you to watch them. There's so much insight. They give you the props. They give you the advice, but we compile all that UFC research into one picture for you and say, these are who all the GOATs are picking.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's just insane value. All of our people are just extremely happy.
Yeah.
Even when I feel so bad whenever like the college basketball picks go wrong and they're like, dude, are you kidding me? Like we just hit a plus 1,000 parlay a couple days ago.
Yeah.
We have the best,
Can't
sweetest.
help it. It's the robot.
It's the robot, stupid robot. And I tell you, we make him sleep outside. We make the robot sleep outside in the rain. Yeah. But we need robot food. So that's what the Patreon goes to. It goes to robot food for the robot so he can keep giving you the locks.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, so NBA first basket. If you live in a state that allows legal betting, that allows DraftKings and FanDuel Sportsbook, the first basket scorer is unreal because you can actually bet the players. If you don't, then you have to just bet on the teams, but it's unreal. Like, you know, yesterday we hit 3 of 3. Like, we usually put out like 6 plays, but a couple days ago, or yesterday, all the good teams played each other, and all the terrible teams, that like all the teams who can't win a jump ball, they all played each other. All the good teams played each other. So we only had 3 plays. They all 3 hit. It's just, there's so much. It's so easy. The first basket score is by far the most lucrative intel that we give. But the year-round value, it's $4.99 a month. No, $4.99 a month.
Yeah.
But every day, so the DFS stuff is great too, because with DFS, it's all about staying up to date and waiting for the news. And we're just constantly updating, like, this person's out, this person's out, this person's out. So really good stuff. Our DFS, like we post on Instagram, if you look at like our last 10 DFS plays, they all hit except one, which was a golf one, you know, like our DFS is just really, 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 really good. So Patreon, and we give, you know, Jen's women's MMA locks of the week. It's just really good time.
We still gotta do that.
Yeah.
We will upload that to Instagram tomorrow.
There's only one women MMA underdog this week, and it's Souza. So so this isn't the best week for it. Yeah, she's gonna pick. Yeah. So appreciate y'all. Let's see if there's any. My bookie parlay go. Bro, I love you. My bookie parlay go. You gotta follow this guy on Instagram. So last week he hit a wild part. It was like, you know, plus 10,000. I think it was like a $90 bet. He won $900 if I recall. And it was a lot of overs. It was really sneaky props is like the fight to start round 2, like my bookie or Beat the Bookies UFC picks was talking about earlier. Really just sneaky props, and he just slaughtered it. So my bookie parlay go, nice freaking job. MMA parlay king. You guys got to get more creative. You guys got to get like a really creative name like we have for UFC bet picks. Is this gonna be a loaded video or just live? Loaded, bro. We are fucking loaded. If you don't already know, yeah, stay loaded. Turn up, turn in.
Turn up to tune in.
Turn up, tune in. Yeah.
You gotta turn up and tune in, but you also gotta turn up to tune in. That's one of our requirements.
It's required.
You gotta turn up.
You gotta bring your friends. You gotta. I don't just want the two of you, and you gotta watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. My dad hated my mom. I never got to see this thing called love. Goddamn, now I'm sad thinking about that again. Joe Bowers,
I'm sorry, that got real deep real fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but so cool to see you. Love a couple of your Joe Bowers. We love you. We love you.
Thank you.
Yep.
That got real sad, but I'm sorry. Yeah.
No. We just read it in the wrong order. I just read it in the wrong order. I read it in the wrong order.
Whoa.
But Joe Bowers, one of the great things is like you can learn what to do and you can learn what not to do. So, you're going to be a better parent because of it.
Right.
Mitchell McArthur, LMA Moreno. Marty Fake Newsman is a bum. You bum. Any one of these mouthy fools can get it. Mitchell McArthur, thanks, bro. Love you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. We've went way longer than we intended to, but we just have so much fun here. We have so much fun. Those look good. Chizzy with the locks. Chizzy over 1.5 Rakitch. Brady Islam. How's that sound?
Yep.
Nothing in this world that I love more than checks.
100.
Yep. Money. What else? So thanks for this, guys. Made the night more fun. Hope to see y'all. Yeah. So Baby Yoda, appreciate you. Like, so, we were doing the videos. We were on a nice pace. We just really wanted to revamp it, wanted to bring all the multi-sport values. So it's taken a ton of work. And then we get overly ambitious. We're like, all right, well, I hate watching fight predictions that don't have highlights. Like, let's do the highlights. And then, there's just not enough hours in the week. So
we do get overly ambitious. Yeah.
We can't let great get in the way of good, but that's what we've done a little bit. But we had to get the Patreon, these basketball, the basketball stuff was just too hot. It just it demanded focus. It demanded attention. We had to be like, wait, we just had to pause and shift focus a little bit because the basketball stuff is, I can't even overhype it. I can't overhype it.
It's insane.
If you guys follow on Instagram, then I post it pretty frequently, but, so thank you all for watching. We can't wait to be back. We're not gonna fucking go weeks again without I'm not always gonna be back.
We're not always gonna have a co-main event and main event shirts, but
goated wardrobe, goated costume chief.
Yeah,
I'm like fucking Prince or something up here. So yes, and all of you guys are goated commenters for sure. Baby Yoda, you guys should get the Patreon. Oh, appreciate you. And we're just so transparent. I feel so bad the last couple days haven't been good, but they were real good. And these are plus money pick, or not plus money, they're even money, -110. They're pick'ems. They're spreads and over-unders that literally hit 67% when all these teams are actually playing. Right. Some of the teams right now are resting guys, and it's just impossible. So the robot can't do it. So but it stresses me out. It literally wakes me up in the middle of the night when the fucking robot is wrong. And I look at him outside the window and I say, fuck you. I'm glad it's raining. My bookie, love you, bro. Send us the locks. My bookie, follow My Bookie Parlay. Go on Instagram if you want to win money. Swear to God. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone turning up and tuning in tonight. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the comments. We appreciate you guys so much.
I'm amazed. Elite Shadow was talking about a college basketball parlay that actually had really excited.
Wow.
Oh, probably because we didn't recommend any of those. That's why. Don't Elite Shadow, give us the locks. We need to have you educate the robot. What's Instagram? It's a little tricky. Free UFC bet picks. Free UFC bet picks. Yeah. If you want to find us on Twitter, it's at Free UFC Bet Picks.
It's hard to remember.
in all honesty, though, like I don't have enough time to even be on Twitter. So, like, yeah, Instagram is where the locks are.
Everything is at for UFC bet.
Yeah, Instagram is where I'm replying all day. On the Patreon, she's replying all day. So, like, when we post stuff and then injuries happen or whatever, when people have questions, they're like, "Oh, sometimes people have, just questions like, what's ML?" I'm like, "Sorry, it's Moneyline." They're like, "Oh, duh." Yeah, yeah. Sometimes people have questions. She's on there all day, just boom, getting back to you. She runs the Patreon, I run the IG, and then Twitter and YouTube we like handle together, which is why it never gets done. So, yeah. So, holler at us. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week for some kind of fight video or basketball video. I don't know. We'll see you guys.
Tune in. Oh, it's a mystery.
Yeah.
It's not going to be soccer. No soccer.
No soccer.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. See you guys soon.